Look at this, a monument of steel, glass, and concrete. It seems perfectly still, unmovable, a triumph of human ambition over the fundamental laws of physics. But what if I told you that this building, and every super tall skyscraper like it, is in constant motion? That it's designed not to resist the wind, but to yield to it, to sway gently, like a colossal tree. This movement isn't a flaw, it's a critical design feature. And understanding it reveals one of the most elegant and ingenious solutions in modern engineering. This is the hidden story of why skyscrapers are built to dance. For over a century, our cities have been growing in one primary direction, up. The reasons are straightforward. Limited land, growing populations, and economic ambition all push us to build taller. But as we build higher, the rules of the game change. A 10-story building has one primary enemy, gravity. Its main job is to support its own weight, a force pushing straight down. This is a challenge of compressive strength, and we have mastered it with materials like steel and reinforced concrete. But for a super tall skyscraper, a building over 300 meters, or about 1,000 feet, gravity is only half the story. The true challenge comes from forces that push it from the side. These are known as lateral loads. The most relentless lateral load is wind, and wind doesn't just push. As air flows around a massive flat-sided structure, it can create a complex and potentially dangerous effect. Engineers call it vortex shedding. As wind separates to move around the building, it creates swirling eddies or vortices in its wake. These vortices detach from alternating sides, creating a rhythmic pattern of low and high pressure. This results in a side-to-side pushing force perpendicular to the direction of the wind. Crucially, this force has a frequency. It pushes, then pushes again, over and over. Now consider this. Every object, from a guitar string to a bridge, has a natural frequency, the rate at which it prefers to vibrate. Buildings are no different. If the frequency of the vortex shedding matches the building's natural frequency, you get a phenomenon called resonance. Each small push from the wind arrives at the exact right moment to amplify the building's sway, just like pushing a swing. Without a way to manage this, the oscillations could become so large they could cause discomfort for occupants, damage to internal components, and in a worst-case scenario, threaten the structural integrity of the building itself. So, how do engineers solve this? The first line of defense is the building's shape. You can't stop the wind, but you can disrupt its rhythm. Modern skyscrapers are rarely simple flat-sided boxes. Architects and engineers use aerodynamic modeling to confuse the wind. The Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, has a stepped Y-shaped design. At each tier, the building's profile changes. This prevents the wind from creating a single, coherent rhythm of vortices along the building's height. The Shanghai Tower uses a dramatic twist of 120 degrees from base to top. This constantly alters the angle of attack for the wind, effectively breaking up the vortex shedding. But for many super-slender buildings, shaping alone isn't enough. They need a second, active system to counteract the sway. They need a damper. This is the heart of Taipei 101 in Taiwan. It's called a tuned mass damper, or TMD, and it is the skyscraper's ultimate balancing act. A TMD is essentially a giant pendulum, a massive weight, in this case a 660 metric ton steel sphere, suspended near the top of the building by thick steel cables. Here is how it works. The TMD is tuned to have the same natural frequency as the building itself. When a strong gust of wind pushes the building to the left, the massive damper, because of its own inertia, wants to stay put. It lags behind, effectively swinging to the right relative to the building's frame. As the building sways back to the right, the damper swings left. It is always moving out of sync with the building. This counter movement actively works against the sway. But the real magic happens in the components connecting the damper to the structure. The damper is connected to the building by massive hydraulic cylinders, similar to a car's shock absorbers. As the damper swings, it pushes and pulls on these pistons. The pistons convert the kinetic energy of the motion into a tiny amount of heat, which is then safely dissipated. The TMD doesn't stop the building from moving, it simply bleeds the energy out of the oscillation, calming the sway before it can become uncomfortable or dangerous. And this system is proven to work. In 2015, Typhoon Soudaler struck Taiwan with winds exceeding 200 kilometers per hour. Inside Taipei 101, the TMD was recorded moving a full meter, about 3 feet, from its central position. It was the largest movement ever recorded for this device, and it performed its job perfectly, absorbing the immense energy of the storm and keeping the building stable and safe. You might think these complex systems are all about preventing a catastrophic collapse. While safety is the absolute foundation of all structural engineering, building collapse due to wind is exceedingly rare in modern construction. The primary reason for these damping systems is much more immediate: human comfort. Our bodies are surprisingly sensitive to motion. Even a slow, gentle sway at the top of a skyscraper, a movement you might not see, but you would definitely feel, can cause motion sickness, anxiety, and a profound sense of unease. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. It impacts the economic viability of the building. Who would want to pay a premium for a penthouse apartment or a top-floor office if the experience leaves them feeling dizzy? Without dampers, the most valuable real estate in a skyscraper could become virtually uninhabitable. Beyond comfort, dampers also protect the building over the long term. Constant, uncontrolled swaying puts repeated stress on welds, joints, and facades. This is known as material fatigue. By reducing the number and intensity of these stress cycles, a damper extends the functional lifespan of the entire structure. And as we enter the era of super-slender skyscrapers, buildings with extreme height-to-width ratios, these systems are no longer an option. They are a fundamental necessity. These pencil-thin towers are engineering marvels, and they simply could not exist without sophisticated damping technology to control their motion. The great skyscrapers that define our modern skylines appear as rigid, unyielding structures. They are symbols of permanence and strength, but their true strength lies not in their rigidity, but in their engineered flexibility. They are designed to move, to give way to the immense forces of nature in a carefully controlled dance. They don't fight the wind, they accommodate it. The quiet stillness you feel on the 100th floor of a tower on a windy day is not an absence of force. It is the product of a perfectly balanced system. A massive weight, swinging in silent opposition, a silent guardian absorbing the storm's energy. So the next time you look up at one of these giants, remember the tree. Remember that its ability to bend is what prevents it from breaking. And in that graceful, invisible sway, you'll find a quiet triumph of human ingenuity. If you're interested in sports car or future car, let us know, and we will definitely add this video to our channel. Our prayers are with you. Take care of yourself. Subscribe to the channel. See you later.